All right, guys, how's everyone doing? I'm going to be talking about quick breakdowns for this UFC 325, the end of the year, the last card of the year. I'm going to break down every single fight and what I believed. I saw at every single matchup. I extensively went through tape study to see this, or as Kyle Bryo says, we have scientists doing the database of everything. No, man, I'm just tape studying like every single Joe Schmo that does, who either bets on fights or he either is a student of the game or who just likes to be a part of the MMA world. And I'm just going to be talking about every single fight, every single matchup of this 325 card. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. That would help a lot. Let's get started. Muhammad Naimov, right, versus Myron Santos. This is a very good fight. Two orthodox guys. Naimov's just a little bit bigger than Myron Santos. He has very good striking, Naimov, right? People would say Tajikistan. They see that stand at the end. They think he's a wrestler. He's not a wrestler, but he can wrestle. He has decent wrestling, but he's not a typical wrestler. And Myron Santos, I mean, he has very good striking. He's a very good striker, but is he a good mixed martial artist? Yeah, he's a good mixed martial artist. Can he mix up everything? His takedown defense good. It's good enough. We see him put in spots of in fights that we didn't believe that he should have won, right? We saw the fight against, who was it against? It was against Francis Marshall. What I believe Francis Marshall won that fight. I thought Francis Marshall won the first round and then the third round. But yeah, definitely, I think a lot of people had Francis Marshall winning that fight. But Myron Santos bounced back, defeated Sadiq Youssef. But Sadiq Youssef, even though he went to main event against Edson Barboza, is he that same fighter, Sadiq Youssef? We don't know. He's over there doing like Nigerian Disney Channel in Africa. So I don't know if he's that same fighter, has that same desire of doing mixed martial arts as his occupation, as his career. So Myron Santos is a good fighter. I haven't looked at any odds yet. So I think that Muhammad Naimov should implement the wrestling and the takedown just to keep Myron Santos not busy enough on the feet where Naimov can mix up the takedowns, throw the jab, throw the cross, because he has a very nice cross. He's a good fighter. He has a little bit of pop in his punches, right? You saw him when he knocked out Eric Silva in the first round, right? We saw that he beat Nathaniel Wood. He has some good wins. The Nathaniel Wood was a close fight. We saw that Jamie Malarkey, obviously, at 155. We saw that fight. And I believe that this fight is also at 155, I'm guessing. Is it? Am I crazy? Nope, it's at featherweight. Myron Santos going down back to 145. Okay, so this is where you would take Muhammad Naimov. I think he's the better fighter. I'm very, very confident in this. Not really. I'm not really confident in it. Would I like put the house on it? Would I freaking sell my secondborn because I will never sell my firstborn for this fight? No. But I think Muhammad Naimov is going to win this fight via decision. I think Myron Santos, he's shown to have a little bit of cardio issues when you take him down and implement the wrestling like Francis Marshall did. So I'm going to take Naimov, especially that Myron Santos is going back down to 145 after his last bout was at 155. Next, we have Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Trocoli, right? The old boyfriend of Mackenzie Dern Trocoli. Abdul Malik, one thing you got to know about this guy, I'm not saying he rigs fights, but I'm saying he rigs the over. How do I know that? I don't. It's speculation, but if you watch every single one of his fight, this guy does not try until a 2 minute mark, 2 minute 30-second mark of the second round. Watch his fight against his debut fight against not debut, but versus Nick Klein, and he literally does not try until that 2 minute 30 bell, and then he starts getting a win. Cody Brundage, you see that third round win as well, but he is a decent fighter. He's very explosive. Trocoli has been knocked out recently against Shara Bullet, and then got subbed by Chashawn Gore. Is he a good fighter? Trocoli? No, not really. He's not UFC caliber. I'm guessing because I haven't looked at the odds yet. That Mansour Abdul Malik is probably a minus 500 favorite. He should get the job done. It should go over 1.5 rounds because this guy won't try for the first 9.5. Just watch every single fight. Watch the Brundage fight. Watch the Klein fight. He literally will not throw a punch until after a meaningful punch or a meaningful strike until a round and a half into the fight. Mansour Abdul Malik is the better fighter. just take him, right? That's basically it. Next is what's his name? Igor Baraniewski. Iwo Baraniewski. He fought on Dana White Contender Series last. He literally knocked out this very decent fighter, Muhammad Ali, who was a favorite in this fight against Baraniewski, who people thought was a touted prospect, and he knocked him out in 20 seconds. He's fighting against Ivo Aslan. And one thing I know about Ivo Aslan is awful. He's terrible. He's not UFC caliber at all. He's not a good fighter. They're both orthodox. Ivo Aslan's a little bit bigger, but they're both orthodox. I cannot take Ivo Aslan. He's been favored against Elikatina, right? Elikatina is his name. He's been favored against most of these guys. Elikana, Ian Kutalaba was favored. He beat Sirkaria, but who doesn't? Anton Trocoli, that was a revenge fight. That was a second fight. Excuse me, where Trocoli actually looked good in that fight as well. I would probably be taking Baraniewski because Baraniewski has power. He has pop. He's a good fighter. He has good boxing. Ivo Aslan, I mean, his striking's slow. He doesn't really have that much power. He's not that good. His footwork is terrible. He has no wrestling, no jiu-jitsu. So he's basically just nothing. He's like terrible. He's just not a good fighter. If he wasn't 6'3" and didn't look scary and didn't look the part, honestly, this guy would be fighting at freaking like Cage Fury because he's not that good of a fighter. Okay, so I'm taking Baraniewski probably via decision, probably. How many decisions does Baraniewski have? Probably KO then. 4-2. Okay, maybe via sub. I'll take him via sub. I think that's a good bet right there. But we'll go over that in a different video. But Baraniewski, he should get the job done. He's the better fighter. He's the more well-rounded fighter. Ivo Aslan's just not that good. That's basically it. Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner. So a lot of people here on Jalen Turner, right? And I'm guessing Jalen Turner's the favorite. I'm not sure. He has the height advantage. He obviously has the reach advantage as well, but only by 2 inches. He's a southpaw. He sees that orthodox look a ton probably in practice, a ton when he fights. So again, he has the advantages over Edson Barboza. But one thing I know about Jalen Turner, this guy retired after the Renato Moicano loss and after the Ignacio Bahamondes loss. Those losses really killed him. He was supposed to be this next big prospect. When he defeated Jamie Mullarkey, when he defeated Bobby Green, everybody thought this guy was going to be him. He lost him with Mateusz Gamrot, and then Dan Hooker, where he was beating Dan Hooker, then didn't get the win, but he lost to Moicano and Bahamondes as well. 4 out of 5 fights. This guy was supposed to be a top 5 contender, trying to contend for Islam Makhachev. He obviously hasn't gotten there. Now he's fighting Barboza, who's going back up to 155 after fighting at 155 versus Jakar Close, and he looked like absolute dog shit. Can I take Turner and trust Turner to win this fight? I can't. You know why? Because he retired. He was out of the game. Is this just a money ploy? We don't know. Does this guy just want money? Does he actually want to win and be a title challenger? Does he want to be that guy, or does he here for a paycheck because, you know, he's good at fighting and he's going to get probably paid 100 grand, 75 grand for this fight? Is that basically why he's fighting? If that's the case, then I can't put money on him. I can't put money and good faith on him. So I cannot be taking Jalen Turner. I cannot be taking Edson Barboza, but Jalen Turner should win this fight. He is the better fighter. He's the younger fighter. He's a southpaw, right? He has good takedowns. He has good wrestling when he's on top. And when he's on bottom, he's not that good of a wrestler, obviously. His jiu-jitsu is not as good. But when he's on top, he is a very good hammer, not a good nail. Barboza, we've seen him get wobbled by Jakar Close, who doesn't have the biggest hands, right? The best power. We've seen Edson Barboza get smashed by Sadiq Youssef in the first round, but ended up bouncing back. But we've seen Edson Barboza at his worst, and his worst is becoming more relevant and more frequent since his old age, right? So I'll be taking Jalen Turner right there. I think that fight will probably go to a decision. I'll take him right there. Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. I mean, Marvin Vettori, how can you believe that this guy is going to be that good of a fighter, right? Because Marvin Vettori, he is like, he has issues out of his life that are sad, that are tragic, that how can you, if you were him, how can you be fighting? I know it's his job. People move on every single day, right? Hey, someone's family member dies. You still have to go to work tomorrow, right? It happens, right? But Marvin Vettori lost his brother, I think. I believe it's his brother, right? He lost his brother, and now he just fought versus Brendan Allen, which was a good competitive fight after the second or third round, right? When he made it a little bit more muddy, a little bit more of a brawl instead of technique for technique with Brendan Allen, he had some good combinations. He had some good moments during that second and third round of that fight, but he was getting his ass whooped the whole first round, honestly. And Marvin Vettori, he's slow, he's plotty, he's unathletic, he has a big head, he doesn't move it, but he's very durable. And Bruno Ferreira, he is a good fighter, even though he's 5'10 and short for that weight class. He's going against Marvin Vettori, who's not that tall for the weight class, but Bruno Ferreira has power. We saw him knock out RoboCop. We saw him defeat Dustin Stoltzfus, right? We saw him submit McVeigh, who is not that really good of a jiu-jitsu guy, but we saw him submit him in a round. We saw him beat Petrosian, who Petrosian is very hard to finish. We saw Cal Barrio take him to a decision. So Petrosian's hard to finish. He finished him. He beat Phil Hawes. He has some good wins on his resume. Does Abus Magomedov beat Marvin Vettori? Is that a bigger step up than Marvin Vettori is? I think so. I think Abus is better than Marvin Vettori right now. So I'll be taking Bruno Ferreira. I'm guessing he'll be the favorite, maybe like minus 120, minus 130. That's what I'm assuming. It's probably a 50-50 fight just because Marvin Vettori gets a lot of respect because he's durable, first off. Bruno Ferreira could get tired in the third round. We've seen him get a little bit tired, a little bit gassed. We saw him lost to Nursultan Rizaboev. Excuse me. We saw him lost to Nursultan Rizaboev. Marvin Vettori's been on his losing streak right now where he lost to he's been losing, right? He lost to Roman Dolidze, Cannonier, Whitaker, Brandon Allen, but these are the top of the division. Is Bruno Ferreira better than Roman Dolidze right now? I'm not sure, but I'll be taking Bruno Ferreira to beat Marvin Vettori any day right now. But just because Marvin Vettori's been going through a lot, I know he's only like 32 years old, right? He's 32, but he has been going through wars. Is he that same fighter? I don't think so. So I'll be taking him. Fares Ziam versus Nadim Sadykhov. This is a good matchup. Again, I do not know the odds for these, but I am taking Fares Ziam, right? I'm taking Fares Ziam. Fares Ziam has nasty striking, good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling, right? Even though we saw him get taken down by Terrence McKinney and finish, Terrence McKinney's not that bad. And people sleep on him because when he's in the first round, Terrence McKinney, I mean, this guy's like high level first round fighter. This guy turns into like godly like aura in the first 2 minutes of a fight. Terrence McKinney, he just all go like a marauder in the first 2 minutes. But I have to take Fares Ziam over Nazim Sadykhov. I like his striking better. He's longer, he's rangier, and he fights at that range where that calf kick works. While Nazim Sadykhov, even though he's a striker and he comes from that Cerro Longo gym, and everybody knows that Cerro Longo gym as more as grapplers with Aljamain, grapplers with Merab, grapples with Weidman. He's not a grappler. And even though he took down Slava Claus and he took down other opponents, he's not known as a grappler. He's known as a striker. And I think that Fares Ziam is a good enough striker to hold off Nazim Sadykhov in his own range, right? Because Ziam fights a little bit longer than Sadykhov, especially when he's taller. And I think that Fares Ziam is hitting his prime right now, right? He's 28. We saw him be losing when he was like 25, 24. And now we see him starting to become a man and start fighting better. Like that Mike Davis win is huge. Is Mike Davis better than is a better opponent than Nazim Sadykhov? I think so. I think Mike Davis, even though he's a little bit older, is a very good opponent. Is Jai Herbert a better striker than Nazim Sadykhov? I believe so as well. So I think that he has become on his own. You see him, he's on a 5-fight win streak right now, and he is a good fighter. I have to respect Fares Ziam. I think he's better. I think Nazim Sadykhov, even though he has nice combinations, he's not elusive really. He's good when he goes forward, but Fares Ziam, he pulls people's shots out, right? He baits a lot of people into shots. He'll have his hands up right here, bait you into something, counter it, boom, like cross hook, low kick. Like he's very crafty in there. He's a good fighter. He used to train at Extreme Couture, so he wanted to shore up on his wrestling takedowns and his anti-wrestling, and it really worked for him, and he's gotten better at it. So I'll have to take Ziam over Sadykhov, probably by a decision. This fight's probably going to be boring, but Ziam should win this fight. I don't know the odds, but I'm guessing he's probably favored. Macy Barber versus Korean Silva. This fight might be closer than people think, right? I think the odds have him closer, but I don't think it's going to be that close. I think Macy Barber is just that much better of a fighter than Korean Silva. I think Macy Barber is too physical. We see Karina Silva, she gets out physical by Vivian Araujo, right? And Araujo is a unit, right? Her biceps are huge, her shoulders are huge. But is she more physical than Macy Barber? No, Macy Barber is a pit bull. She goes forward. She tries to dominate her opponent. She tries to maul her opponents, and that's what you like. You saw Macy Barber, what she did to Amanda Ribas, where she just basically broke her, right? And then Karine Silva, we saw her go to her boiling point versus Vivian Araujo, right? And Vivian Araujo, even though she is a good fighter, she has all the technique, all the skills, she never really meshed it up together to be a top level contender in that division. But Vivian Araujo, the problem with her also is she's old. And you saw her push that pace versus Karine Silva when she got dominated. And Karine Silva really couldn't do anything. So I'll be taking Macy Barber, even though Macy Barber hasn't fought in a while, because the last time we saw her was when she was supposed to fight Erin Blanchfield and she missed weight. So we haven't seen her in over a year and a half now, since March 9th, 2024. So I'd have to take Macy Barber to win this fight. But again, Macy Barber, even though she hasn't been fighting and been and she canceled out of her main event with Erin Blanchfield, I think she's just a better fighter. I have to take her here. I think she's gonna maul. I think she's gonna KO her, TKO her. Just Karine Silva is gonna quit, I believe. Let's see if Karine Silva has any TKO losses. She has 1 TKO loss, 2 subs. As a submission girl too, she's known as a very good submissions. She's fighting out of Fighting Nerds now. You see that, but I think that she has that quit in her, and I think Macy Barber can get it out of her, and I think Macy Barber will finish her. Next, we have Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. Oh man, I love this fight. Right, you have Chris Duncan who leaves his chin in the air, and you have Terrence McKinney who gives up after 3 minutes if the fight won't be finished for him, right? If he doesn't finish the fight in 3 minutes, the fight's basically over for him. He's like, I'm out. See you later. Bob Sapp. I'm done. Finito. Cut me a check, and I'm out. So again, Terrence McKinney, can he beat Chris Duncan? Yes. Is he talented enough to beat Chris Duncan? Yes. Does Chris Duncan have a chance if he takes this to the second round? 100%. But can he take it to the second round? I don't think so. I think Terrence McKinney is going to finish Chris Duncan in probably a minute and a half. I think Terrence McKinney is too fast for Chris Duncan, too athletic for Chris Duncan, too athletic on the feet. Chris Duncan, he has a problem. He's very stiff. He's stiff as a board. He's stuck in mud, the way Conor McGregor said it. He is stuck in mud. Terrence McKinney, he is agile. You see him. He's like quick. Ba-ba. We saw what he did to Matt Favola, right? That's how he fights. He's just quick. Show him the hand. The hands are moving fast. 1-2 down the middle. Long 1-2 as well. We saw him put it on good fighters like Drew Dober. Is Drew Dober back then 5 years ago or 4 years ago better than Chris Duncan now? That'll be close. I think so. But again, I think Terrence McKinney is a good fighter, right? He's beat Borshev. Borshev's no slouch. I know he's been losing, but Borshev is no slouch. He finished him in the first round in a minute on a choke. And then he beat all these other fighters. Esteban Ribovic is a very good striker, so you can't really fault him for that. But Chris Duncan is not that guy. Chris Duncan, the only way he can win is to take down Terrence McKinney. I don't think he'd take down Terrence McKinney in the first round. I don't think so. I think Chris Duncan's hands aren't that good. He just went through a war with Matus Rebecki, right? That was his last fight. Yeah, Matus Rebecki just went through a war with. I don't think he has it, honestly. I don't think he has it. I think that Miguel Torres kind of showed if you're just too quick and too athletic, especially in the first round, you'll lose. Slava Claus defeated Chris Duncan in the 20 seconds into the second round. So again, he can be finished early. And Terrence McKinney is a very, very fast starter. So I'll have to be taking Terrence McKinney here. I think Terrence McKinney has it. I think Terrence McKinney is he the better fighter? For the first 3 minutes, he's the better fighter. But I don't think Chris Duncan can survive the first 3 minutes. So that's my take on that. Grant Dawson versus Miguel Torres? Is that his name? Am I crazy? Manuel Torres. So Manuel Torres beat Chris Duncan, right? He beat Chris Duncan. He lost to a good fighter, Ignacio Bahamondes. He lost to a good fighter, Ignacio Bahamondes, where Manuel Torres was kind of winning that fight until he got knocked down, and then he got back up, reestablished himself, recuperated, and then he got finished again. But he is a good fighter. He's a power puncher. This guy is legit. My favorite celebration, one of my favorite celebrations in the UFC is when he knocked out Nicholas Mota and freaking started doing the "You Can't See Me" John Cena. It was beautiful to watch. He's a very good, talented fighter. But Grant Dawson, if he had an OV at the end of his name, if he was Dawsonov, this guy would be minus 800. I mean, his grappling is just legit. Dude, he is an amazing grappler, Grant Dawson. If you see him, I know he gets a little bit tired at the end of his fights, and his chin is kind of wobbly. You saw him got knocked out by Bobby Green. Everybody remembers what Bobby Green did to him in the first 30 seconds of that fight. But he beat Rafa Garcia, who's a good grappler. Joe Selecki's a good grappler. Diego Ferreira is a good grappler. Like, these guys are good. Damir Ismagulov is a good fighter. Is Manuel Torres better than these guys? That's the question, because he's getting a chance to be in the rankings right now. Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres is also a submission guy, right? He has 7 submissions as well. He's known for his power in the UFC, but in his regional career, he was not. Manuel Torres is a good fighter. He has that 1-2. Can he beat Grant Dawson? I don't think so. I think if the only way he can beat him is in the first round, first 3 minutes, 2 minutes, tries to catch him. Grant Dawson panics. Maybe he can try to submit him, but Grant Dawson, I mean, if he puts him through hell, then he should win that fight. I mean, Manuel Torres, he's not a decision guy at all, as you saw right here. He's not a decision guy. Look at this. He went 15 fights, 15 wins, 3 losses by stoppage. So he only has 1 decision on his freaking ledger. You can't take a guy like that. Everything's a first round. Is he going to drown? He might drown. Grant Dawson might drown Manuel Torres in the second and third round and probably get the submission win. Excuse me. And that's what I believe is going to happen. I think Grant Dawson is probably going to finish him in the second round or third round. Rear naked choke, take his back, finish him. Torres is going to be tired, and I don't think he's a 3-round fighter. The way he fights too elaborate, like he fights just too emotional. As not maybe like emotional as in like he has bad technique because he's emotional, but emotional as in like he feels the crowd, he feels the energy a lot, and he just wants to kill somebody. And Manuel Torres, if he does that to Grant Dawson should be able to level change, take him down, take his back, and ride him out for a first round, ride him out for a second round, and probably finish him the second or early third round. And that's what I believe. Next is Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov, right? This is a good fight. I like Guskov in this fight. I think Guskov is going to beat Jan Blachowicz. Why do I believe that? He's younger, right? He's younger. 42 years old for Jan Blachowicz. I know age doesn't really matter. He's still at the top of his game. He just fought Carlos Oberg, right? He should have beat Magomed Ankalaev for the title bout, right? He should have maybe beat Pereira. But again, look at his schedule. 2025, March 22nd, July 29, December 10, 2022. He fights like once a year. And this is the first time he's fighting twice in a year. I can't take Jan Blachowicz with good faith. I think Bogdan Guskov, maybe he's not as technical as Jan Blachowicz, but he likes to go forward and he likes to start very fast. Bogdan Guskov is a good fighter. I like the way he fights. I think he's very talented on the feet. I think he has good grappling when he's on top. And look, he's a finisher. You have 18 wins by finish, all by finish. All his wins are by finish. He has only one decision. He beats all these guys. I mean, you saw the only person he lost to was Volkan Ozdemir in the UFC. But Volkan Ozdemir, he's a very good, capable fighter. Volkan Ozdemir versus Jan Blachowicz would be a sick fight. But he's a very very good fighter. I'd have to take Bogdan Guskov. I don't know who's the favorite here. I'm guessing Jan Blachowicz, maybe just because of respect. He might be the favorite, maybe like minus 145. But Bogdan Guskov is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. I like him. I'm going to take him here via KO or TKO. Jan Blachowicz is not a good nail. When he gets backed up a lot, he's not that good. Bogdan Guskov tends to back up his opponents a lot, especially when he knows that a fighter likes to be ticky-tack like Jan Blachowicz. Next is Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbott. Give me Peyton Talbott all fucking day. Henry Cejudo, 38 years old, in it for the money. He's not even that good. He was never that good. People think I'm crazy for saying that. I know he won a gold medal. I don't care. You know how many people win gold medals and are bad at MMA? Mark Madsen won a silver medal in Greco-Roman. Awful in MMA, right? We've seen fighters come from backgrounds and they don't translate well. Henry Cejudo did win 2 championships. Yes. Can I say that he's obviously not he's not Mark Madsen. He is a good fighter, but is he overrated? Is he a top guy? Should he be giving Conor McGregor striking advice like he does in his videos from 4 years ago when he was retired, thinking that he was one of the greatest of all times? Fuck no. The guy's a moron. He's literally, he doesn't have that. He thinks he has fight IQ. I don't understand it. He's not that good of a fighter. He's 5'4". He does that little karate stance, which is nice. It's a good implement on his game. People do that like him because that's it. It's a deficiency in striking where you can't stay in the pocket if you don't move your head a lot. You could be that karate stance, right? That's why a lot of beginners, they start with the karate stance, and so they're back here, they're back here, they're back here. They can see everything. They're on their back foot. They can spring out, float backwards, right? Everything like that. That's why you do that. And instead of being that little boxing Mexican stance, that would help probably implement his style better in fights, like that little Isaac Pitbull Cruz for boxing, right? Like a little marauder, like Mike Tyson versus heavyweights. But he doesn't have that because he doesn't have that capability in striking to be able to be that. We saw Song Yadong piece him up on the feet. Is Song Yadong better than Peyton Talbott? I believe so. I honestly don't rate Peyton Talbott that high. I saw fighters give him trouble on the regional scene. Some guy from Team Alpha Male, I forgot his name. Let me look up his name right now. There's a fighter from Team Alpha Male that gave him kind of problems back in the day that he lost to Cody Haddon. Billy Brand. Billy Brand was giving him the work, but I guess that's 2 fights into his career. Peyton Talbott is a good fighter because he's big. He's 5'10" for the division. He's huge. His wrestling obviously has problems. But Henry Cejudo, he takes people down. He doesn't hold people down. The person he only holds down is Demetrius Johnson, but Demetrius Johnson broke his foot. I have to be taking Peyton Talbott, right? You can call me a Henry Cejudo hater. I don't care. I don't like him. I think that Peyton Talbott is the better fighter now, especially at 27 years old compared to 38. I think Henry Cejudo just wants a paycheck. I think he's over it. I mean, it's just not. I just don't think that he's as good as people think he is, and especially at 38 years old, I can't trust him to win a fight. I don't think I said it. I told Mike Finch, who's another YouTuber content creator, good friend of mine. I told him when Henry Cejudo came back, because Henry Cejudo was his boy. I said, hey, Henry Cejudo will never win another fight in the UFC. So I'm sticking to that. I think Peyton Talbott will win this fight via decision. I don't think he has enough power to take out Henry Cejudo, even though he does throw a nice straight. But Henry Cejudo has a block head and he has a good chin. And the only time he's been finished was knees to the body by, what's his name? Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, right? So next, we have Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. Tatsuro Taira taking him. Younger, 25 years old. Brandon Moreno, been there, done that. What does he want, right? Does he want to win? He just lost to Royval. He beat Steve Erceg. What does he want to do? Does he want to? He beat Amir Abazi as well. Does he want to win and be a champion again? Do you want to see a Pantoja fight? That's the thing. Do we want Brandon Moreno to fight Pantoja again? We saw that matchup already 2 times now. That was going to be the 3rd time. Do we want to see that? No. Tatsuro Taira should win this fight because Tatsuro Taira, even though his striking is not that good, his takedowns are nasty. He has nasty takedowns. His jiu-jitsu is sick. Him versus Pantoja in a scrambling match would be mental. He has that good at jiu-jitsu. Ray Tatsura also has very good jiu-jitsu. I think they're in the same camp. They have nasty jiu-jitsu right there. The way they take the back is just sickening to watch, right? It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. The way they take the back, the body triangle, if it's a standing body triangle, they use the leverage on the knee where they manipulate the joint to make him fall down. It's just beautiful what he did to Alex Perez. Tatsuro Taira is a very good fighter. Doesn't move his head at all. Brandon Moreno does not have power like that to really hurt Tatsuro Taira. I think Royval throws a lot longer combinations, longer punches, and I think that really got to Tatsuro Taira, where Tatsuro Taira thought he was safe in spots where he actually wasn't. And I think Brandon Moreno can't really implement that. Brandon Moreno fights really small as well. Brandon Royval is like long and rangy, but Brandon Moreno is like here. He fights very, very small. So Tatsuro Taira should use his longer frame and long frame. He uses long frame and his long stance to be able to have Brandon Moreno guessing of what he's going to do, striking or taking him down. Tatsuro Taira, I have to take him here. I'm guessing he's probably like a minus. He's probably an underdog, huh? Tatsuro Taira. But I'll probably take him. I think they'll probably give respect to the former champion, Brandon Moreno. But I have to take Tatsuro Taira. Next is Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Pantoja is going to win this fight. I know Joshua Van is a hot prospect, but I saw this guy lose to Charles Johnson. I saw Edgar Chairez give this guy problem. Pantoja is like levels ahead of those guys. And Pantoja is like a very, very good fighter. We saw Royval give problems to Joshua Van. Royval barely sniffed around off of Pantoja when they fought. I know MMA math doesn't really work, but Joshua Van's in the pocket. Everything's in the pocket with him. You have to be close. He has everything's is compact. And Pantoja, this guy is a berserker going forward. He doesn't give. I mean, maybe Joshua Van could crack him, but I mean, I've seen a lot of people crack Pantoja and couldn't put him out. And Pantoja, I mean, if he gets the back on Joshua Van, he's going to take him down. He has a lot of body lock takedowns, not a lot of double legs or single legs, a lot of body lock takedowns. So Joshua Van, even though he's probably working on his wrestling, is he working on his chain wrestling to that Pantoja has? Like Bilal Muhammad just blasts straight doubles all the time, and then once he doesn't get the takedown, he doesn't chain wrestle at all. That's the difference between him and Islam that people are failing to realize. Islam will shoot the double. If he doesn't get it, he'll grab the single leg, try to trip the back leg, try to get to the back, try to high crotch it. He does a lot of different things that people try to treetop him. He does a lot of different things. Pendulum sweep. He does a lot of different things to manipulate your body to get you to down. Right? Bilal Muhammad doesn't do that. And Pantoja, he does the same things that Islam does. Maybe not the wrestling part, as in like the pendulum sweep and like single leg dumps and double legs. But once he gets that body lock, he hunts for that back. He doesn't care if he's standing. He doesn't care if he's on the ground. He doesn't give a shit. He is he's just that good of a fighter. He's a very, very talented fighter, Pantoja. I have to take him over Joshua Van. I think he's just better than Joshua Van. Maybe not in striking, but the discrepancy in grappling is just much bigger than Joshua Van's advantage in striking against the disadvantage in grappling by Pantoja. Right, Pantoja's advantage in grappling is much bigger than the disadvantage he has in striking with Joshua Van. I have to take Pantoja here. I think he's the better fighter. The UFC, they probably don't care who wins, but I'm guessing if they want somebody to win, probably Joshua Van, because he's from Myanmar, he's from Asia, right? And he has that. He has good charisma, right? He's from Houston. He talks a little Southernish, but he's also from Myanmar, where you can basically like force feed him to Asians across the freaking continent, right? And like, hey, he's one of you guys, right? This freaking Houston twang boy, Johnny Dang, he's one of you guys. Myanmar, right? Next, we have Merab. So I'll be taking Pantoja here, probably by submission, 4th round. Joshua Van gets a little bit tired from the wrestling. I got to take Pantoja there. Merab versus Petr Yan. Is this fight going to be any different than the first fight? I like Petr Yan. Petr Yan is one of my favorite fighters to watch, right? There's only a couple of fighters where my heart beats fast for them, right? It was Floyd Mayweather, because I used to like Floyd Mayweather. I used to love watching him fight. It was Conor McGregor. I used to love watching Conor McGregor fight as well, because I just didn't want him to lose. And it's Petr Yan. Those 3 guys, I actually care about if they win or lose, right? And Petr Yan, he is a very, very talented fighter. One of the most talented fighters in the UFC, probably history, right? His striking is good. His anti-wrestling good. His trips are good. His jiu-jitsu is solid. He is just that good. His catch, with the way he catches punches on his glove and fires back, is gorgeous. Like, you have to watch. If you want to watch a striking boxing exhibition, it's Petr Yan, right? People talk about how good Topuria is at boxing. Yan is a more technical boxer than Topuria. Topuria just throws a lot more torque and a lot more punches, where he kind of leaves himself out of position a little bit. Petr Yan doesn't do that. And Petr Yan, he has a tell. Yes, everybody knows what his tell is. He has that high guard, and he dips down the way Sean O'Malley caught him, where he faked up through the knee, cut him badly, hurt Petr Yan. But again, Petr Yan is a good fighter. He's only 32 years old, while Merab's 34. These guys already fought. Petr Yan switches stances beautifully. He's just a very good fighter. Can he stop the takedowns? Can he stuff him? I don't think so. That's the problem, because that high guard is a very, very problematic. You saw JDM. Everybody thought JDM was going to defend the takedowns versus Islam, because he defended versus Bilal. The high guard takedown does work, but it doesn't work out at the same time. It doesn't work against chain wrestlers. Merab's a very good chain wrestler. Merab, again, goes to the double, then changes to the single, goes to the high crotch, doesn't get the high crotch, takes the back, kicks the back leg out. That's how good of a wrestler Merab is. Merab is him in wrestling. Like, you want to talk about a dog, is Merab. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Can Petr Yan stop that? Not with that high guard. If Petr Yan wants to win this fight, he needs to do what he was doing in the first fight. That in the first round, that was working well for him, which was the calf kicks. The calf kicks were working extremely well for Petr Yan. He was winning the calf kick battle. Merab was also throwing a lot of calf kicks, but Petr Yan made Merab crack a little bit with the calf kick. As in, like, you saw Merab change stances a little bit, starts bouncing around a little bit more, trying to like get the pain out, get the blood moving. And Merab really had a problem with it. But again, Petr Yan is a very good fighter. I would have to take Petr Yan to lose this fight, though, because Merab is just that good. Merab is going to win this fight. And it just sucks to say. I think he's going to win this fight by decision again. He's a decision king. I know he almost got Corey Sandhagen out. Merab Dvalishvili. He has everything you want in a champion. I mean, that cardio is just insane. Like, that is like God's gift, is that cardio. I mean, he, and it's not even he has cardio. He utilizes that cardio, right? He puts that pressure. He breaks people. The way TJ Dillashaw and Dominic Cruz were talking about it, TJ Dillashaw says, I break people. That's why I win this fight. I break people. And I couldn't break you, Dominic Cruz. And he goes, I applauded your cardio right away after the fight. I said, hey, you have really good cardio. And Dominic Cruz goes, that's weird. Usually people compliment me about my footwork, about my feints and everything. And this guy complimented me about my cardio. And DJ Dillashaw responded, he goes, yeah, usually I break people like Renan Barão, right? I break people with my cardio. And Dominic Cruz could keep up. And Merab Dvalishvili, he breaks people with his cardio. You saw him break Sean O'Malley. You saw him break Corey Sandhagen. You saw him break Umar Nurmagomedov. You saw him break Petr Yan the first time. He does it to every single person, and it's a 5-round fight. Maybe if this is a 3-round fight, Petr Yan would have a better chance, but in a 5-round fight, knowing that Petr Yan, can he knock him out? Can he knock him out with a check hook the way Marlon Moraes knocked him down, the way that Henry Cejudo got that stunned Merab? Can he do that? Yes, but he's not a first-round fighter. And that's the sad thing. He's not a first-round fighter. Maybe because he saw each other twice, he'll start off faster and he'll get the timing, and he's already seen him before. But he's not a first-round fighter, so I can't really pick Petr Yan to win in the first round when he's not that guy. He likes to compute. He likes to analyze. He likes to read people's movements. And Merab, you can't read that guy's movement. You know, like he's just too good. He's just too quick. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. That's my breakdown. I said it quick, but I don't think that was that quick. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.